White is a top 10 point guard in the league. There are some players that you have to put him ahead of in order to say he's top 10, and that's where it becomes a huge debate. And those players on my list are Trae Young and Tyrese Maxey. I think that Derrick White contributes to winning and is a better overall two-way point guard than both Trae Young and Tyrese Maxey. I'm going to go over my time, which is the allotted 15, just to get this in, and I can split the pod into 2 parts, and you can watch the second installment on YouTube because we're here. Let me go over my top 15 starting point guards in the NBA right now. Something I want to point out is that Jrue Holiday isn't on this list, which he very well should and could be. I just kind of wanted to put White as the Celtics starting point guard, which he is on this list. And this is a list also for moving forward, and I think Holiday is probably going to retire in a year or two. I don't have any good reason why he's not on the list. I just want to kind of point out that I didn't include him in this ranking. He's such an incredible player, by the way, that he's guarding literally 5 positions, and he's been playing a lot of 2 in addition to 1 for the Celtics. So, he's positionless. Doesn't mean he's not a top point guard. My top 15 NBA starting point guards right now are in order: Luka, Steph, Gilgeous-Alexander, Ja, Jamal Murray, Dame, Harden, Halliburton, Brunson, Derrick White, Trae, Maxey, Fox, LaMelo, and Darius Garland. I'm going to turn that alarm off for the 15-minute thing, and I'll be right back. Okay, so why is Derrick White better than Trae Young and Tyrese Maxey? Or if you want to go even further, De'Aaron Fox, obviously he's better. I think we don't need to argue why he's better than LaMelo Ball right now, or Garland. Feel free if you'd like to. Ball has a lot of potential, but if you want to win a 7-game series right now, it's kind of what we're talking about. My theory about why White is better than Trae and Tyrese Maxey right now is based on the premise that you can't win a championship with any of these 3 guards as your best player. You can't do that with Derrick White. You can't do that with Trae Young. You can't do that with Tyrese Maxey. So the role these guys are going to be playing on your championship contender, if that's what we're all trying to build, is a second or third option. For Trae and Maxey, I could see that being a second option on a contender. I happen to believe that Trae is maybe, with the amount of talent in today's NBA, maybe even a third option on a contender. Call me crazy. And we'll see how Maxey develops. Trae just sacrifices so much, or the better way to say it is detracts from your team defense so much that despite his incredible offense, it's hard to kind of figure out how he's a really viable second option on a contender. So anyway, Derrick White is going to be your second or third or fourth if you're the incredible roster that is the Celtics right now, or even fourth or fifth. I think he's the second or third most important player on the Celtics. I've tweeted about this a lot. But my point here is that these guys aren't primary options on contenders, so we have to judge them on how effective they are as secondary options and second or third guys on a contender. And it's clear to me that Derrick White is the best of the 3 based on what he gives you with intangibles and with his defense, which is not even in the same stratosphere as Maxey and Trae. He defensively belongs in the elitist of elite categories of guards, and Trae and Maxey don't. Trae is actually one of the worst defenders at the starting point guard position. And not to be too negative about Trae here, he's an incredible talent. He's super fun to watch, and there's nothing bad about him. I just think when we're ranking players, we can't just think about offense. We have to think about what contributes to winning, and little things and rebounding and team defense and on-ball defense, and Derrick White is off the charts with these things. It's a huge reason why the Celtics are as good as they are. People that really understand basketball, such as Brad Stevens, know how amazing Derrick White is. You could even make the argument that he's better than Jalen Brunson, which would slide him into number 9 on my ranking. I really like Brunson a lot, and I think he actually offers a lot of the intangible stuff that we're talking about with White, which is why he's so highly ranked, more than just his scoring. Because you could obviously argue that Trae and Maxey are better scorers than Brunson, but Brunson has this toughness about him and this will to win, which I was talking about earlier about Russell and Kuzi and guys like that. He has that, and he's completely, along with Tibbs and other factors, revamped the Knicks because of that. And it's the reason why he won in college, and it's the reason why he'll continue to win. I think that Derrick White above Trae Young and Maxey is going to send a lot of shockwaves, especially with Sixers and Hawks fans. But I think it's high time for us to start acknowledging how good Derrick White is, and it needs to be acknowledged in these rankings. He's a top 10 point guard in the league, and I think he can climb higher. It's tough to put him above guys like Halliburton right now. I'm looking at this list right now. I'm looking at Dame and I'm looking at Harden, and just based on how bad they are defensively sometimes, there are situations where I would put Derrick White above them. And that sounds crazy, but it's not. And the only thing preventing me from doing that is that Dame and Harden can kind of slide into an alpha role at times and be your best player, and they can take over games. And while they're not always that guy, they have the potential to be still. Obviously, same with the top 5. And Derrick White isn't really on that level yet, but